In this video, we will be exploring the various ways of customizing the toolbars in Chief Architect. It is important to understand the basic anatomy of the toolbars before we begin customizing them. To start, looking at the Preferences dialog on the Appearance panel, there are options to choose what style of toolbar you want to use, Child Tool Palette or dropdown, set the toolbar icon size, as well as allowing scaling for high-resolution monitors, which tries to keep the icons an appropriate size relative to the scaling setting on your operating system. This is only used if you are using high-resolution monitor and your computer has to scale up its interface to avoid objects being too small. So if you are using high-resolution monitor, you will want to make sure that this is checked, and that the button size is set to a sufficient enough value to make the buttons an adequate size on your toolbars. Looking at a typical plan view, by default you will see two rows of toolbars across the top of the screen. And while it may appear as being two toolbars, these rows are merely toolbar docking areas that each contain multiple toolbars. Toolbars are containers that can hold as few or as many tool icons as needed. They can be identified by the small drag handle located on the left side, which not only helps to differentiate one toolbar from the next, but also allows you to click and drag to move the selected toolbar within the docking area. When dragging a toolbar within a row or column it currently resides, it may result in collapsing or pushing nearby toolbars. You will notice that when a toolbar is pushed to be smaller, a small double arrow appears. You may also see this if you are running Chief on a relatively low screen resolution, where the toolbars may not fit within the given area. This arrow allows you to click to expand the toolbar so you can access the hidden icons. Moving a toolbar out of the row or column it's currently in will undock the toolbar. You will then see a shaded feedback area indicating the new position of the selected toolbar. Dragging a toolbar next to an existing toolbar will give feedback showing that a new toolbar, row, or column will be created. When you are satisfied with the position of your toolbars, you can lock the toolbars by going to Tools, then Toolbars and Hotkeys, and choosing Lock Toolbars. This removes the drag handles so they cannot be moved unless unlocked, or when in the Customize Toolbars dialog. The toolbar locations will be saved even after the program is closed and reopened. However, it should be noted that undocked or floating toolbars are exempt from being locked. Their location will still be remembered after relaunching the program, however they act as independent windows that can still be closed or moved by dragging their title bar. You can access the toolbar menu by right-clicking any blank toolbar location or active toolbar button. Here, you can quickly toggle specific toolbars on or off, or switch between toolbar configurations. Note that these same configurations are available in the toolbar, with the exception of the extended toolbar configuration, giving access to many advanced tools. This is a good example of what a highly customized toolbar might look like. To make these kind of customizations, access the right-click menu again and select Customize Toolbars, or click the Tools menu, then Toolbars and Hotkeys, and Customize Toolbars. While the toolbar customization dialog is displayed, you will be able to drag and move existing icons to rearrange them within their current toolbar, or move them to other existing toolbars. Tools can also be dragged from the Toolbar Customization dialog's Tools panel by clicking and dragging the icon either to an existing toolbar or to a blank area, creating a new toolbar. If you need to remove a tool from a toolbar, simply drag the icon off into an area where no toolbars exist. At the top of both the Tools and Toolbars panels is a View Type dropdown. This indicates the type of view that you are in, and as such, the type of view you are currently customizing. Changing this selection, you will see the toolbars change. For instance, selecting the material view type, the toolbars change to reflect the toolbars available when viewing a materials list. So you don't have to close the customization dialog and open a materials list view in order to edit the toolbars present in that view. When looking for tools to add, you can browse the list in the Tools panel, or use the search function to find a specific tool. When searching certain terms, you may find that the results don't necessarily match exactly what you searched. This is because the search is looking not only for the tool name, but also the description. For example, searching just the word wall, the very first tool displayed in the results is Angle Snaps, which is not a wall-specific tool. However, when selecting it, the tool description below states that it applies to walls or CAD lines. So this particular tool will appear when searching for any of the words in the description, including walls, CAD, or line. There are a few important visual clues to be aware of when looking at the tools displayed in this list. Some entries will have an ellipsis at the end of it, indicating that this is an icon that opens a dialog. Some entries have an arrow to the left, meaning that this entry can be expanded to show a list of tools nested below. These are referred to as parent tools and child tools. A parent tool can be dragged onto a toolbar, creating a similarly expandable toolbar button. Likewise, individual child tools can be dragged out independent of the parent tool. This is useful if you only need a few of the tools under a particular parent tool, rather than the entire list. Keep in mind that the lists under parent tool icons are not editable, so if you only need a few child tools from a specific parent, they must be added as individual icons to a toolbar. When dragged from the tools list into an area where there are no tools, a floating undocked toolbar will be created. Keep in mind that dragging tools out of an existing toolbar will result in the tool icon being removed if they are placed in any location other than a toolbar. A new toolbar will only be created when dragging them out of this list of tools. On the toolbar panel, we have a table showing all of the toolbars available and what view each toolbar applies to. Here, we can quickly show or hide different toolbars from different views without having to go to each view and manually remove unwanted toolbars. Adding or removing the checkmark from these columns will show or hide the toolbar from that respective view. Adding or removing a toolbar by any other means will be reflected on this table as well. For instance, when a new toolbar is created, it will automatically be listed here with a check in the column associated with the view it was created in, and closing a floating toolbar will remove the check for that toolbar. New toolbars will be listed here beginning with the word Custom, followed by the name of the first tool that was placed when this toolbar was made. To rename a toolbar, simply double-click the toolbar name. To remove a toolbar, simply select it and press the Delete button in the lower left to remove it from the current toolbar configuration. Otherwise, when removing the last tool icon from a toolbar, the toolbar will be deleted automatically. To restore the toolbars to their default state for the current configuration, use the Reset Toolbars button on the lower right. Lastly, the configuration panel lists all toolbar configurations currently available. Here, you can switch between or copy existing configurations in order to create your own customized toolbar configuration, and remove any unwanted ones. The Import button can be used to add new toolbars to this list in the event that toolbar configuration files have been shared between computers.